Hello guys and welcome back to GPC week 7. Yeah, week 7 we are already. So that means there are in total 11 weeks, and that means after this week we only have 4 more matches. And currently we're sitting 4 and 3. No, we're sitting 4 and 2. Sorry, my bad. We're sitting 4 and 2, and we either go 5 and 2 or we go 4 and 3. So this match is going up 1 day late. I'm really sorry about this. We battled yesterday on Saturday, and I really wanted to record like almost immediately after the battle. It's also a really amazing battle, so that's also really nice. But unfortunately this couldn't happen because why you ask, I forgot my microphone from where I went. Yeah. So with no microphone, I couldn't really record because I have a shitty mic on my laptop, so I don't want to use that. So it's 1 day late. I'm really sorry about it. I will definitely try to get it up as soon as possible, and also from next week on I hope to get it up on time, like almost always. But yeah, such little things can happen. But yeah, about the battle. This week we're battling the Monreal Habsols and the coach Aster. He's now joined this season for a couple of weeks. He took over from Rob, our last season's champion, and he's doing quite well himself. He's also 4 and 2, and yeah, he's also a really great playoff contender in this Division B, so it's definitely really a hyped match, and also a really important match because 4 and 3 we're falling a bit behind, and with 5 and 2 we're really sitting in a nice playoff spot. So yeah, there are really a lot at stake here, and Aster is really a great battler. So I will just go over the teams really quick. He brought the Mienshao, the Gardevoir, the Klefki, the Hippowdon, the Blastoise and the Zapdos. So in total he had 9 months. He left his Uxie, Electrode and Entei on the bench. I could kind of see it coming. I was a bit surprised by not seeing Entei. I kind of prepared quite well for Entei with this team. So then my team is just a Life Orb Weavile, a Scarfed Chandelure, a Modest Scarfed outsped everything, and yeah, it just has the right coverage for his whole team. Just I needed Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. That's pretty much it. Then Thunderous. It's also kind of standard Thunderous. It is a nasty plot variant because it outsped quite a few things already. Nasty plot was mainly if he brought like something like Uxie, which can take like normal T-Bolt. My coverage is T-Bolt, Grass Knot and Sludge Wave, because my Gardevoir is quite a big threat to my team. Because Chandelure doesn't really want to switch in to Hyper Voice, even despite it resisted. And the Mega Aggron can come in, but takes still 30% and then gets obliterated by Focused Blast. Then Clefable is in Thunder Wave, Calm Mindset. Definitely has potential against his team, especially with no Entei there. And then Donphan is also it's a Spadef Donphan because of the Electrode and the Zapdos. It's able to take them on a bit better. It has just Toxic, Stealth Rock, Spin and Earthquake. Alomomola this time is an AV variant, and mainly there as a kind of pivot switch for the Gardevoir and some of its other mons. Also Entei, it has like Knockoff, Waterfall, Aqua Jet and now Mirror Coat as last move. So yeah, let's just hop into the battle. You see with my team I left on the bench mainly my bit lower tier picks and my Mega for the first time, so if this will come to bite me we will see. But I decided to lead off with Donphan because I want to get up rocks as soon as possible. Also if he leads with Klefki or Hippowdon I can spin on that. Hippowdon I can even Toxic, but he makes a good lead and he leads with his Blastoise. So I think okay, let me just I thought Alomomola of his Blastoise would be a bit of a passive battle. I don't do much to it. Let me go out hard into Clefable and take pretty much any hit. He goes for a Surf, this crits me. Doesn't really matter that much, the crit on the first hand, but later on you will see if it might have mattered. But yeah, he crits me. I thought to myself, okay, he might switch out into like Gardevoir, maybe Klefki. Don't think he will go Mienshao, Hippowdon or Zapdos, but he might go like into his Gardevoir if he's afraid of this Clefable immediately. So I thought, okay, let me just throw off a Thunder Wave. as he just stays in and goes for yawn, which is really nice, like blocking my setup. Here I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I don't really want this Clefable as a sleep fodder, because yeah, Calm and Clefable does a number to his team, especially with one Calm Mind up. Also I can take on my Gardevoir quite well. So I thought, okay, let me make a pivot switch into the Alomomola, because the rest doesn't really want to take a serve at this point. As he makes a great play and he Toxics me. If I stayed in, this would have been quite funny, because I would have taken the Toxic. I was Magikarp, Toxic wouldn't affect me, I couldn't get the sleep. But yeah, it was a ballsy play for him, but definitely a great play. Here I think, okay, let me just throw off a knockoff, like 5 of the 6 mons. They lose the item. My Gardevoir not, but I don't know if you want to go hard my Gardevoir, which in that is what he does. He also traces the Regenerator. I didn't really notice this at this point in the match, but yeah, he made like a great play, because he has now regen. He did this just to get a pivot switch. Now he pivots back out, as I just think, okay, maybe he thinks he can take on this Alomomola quite well with my Gardevoir, because normal Alomomola Eclats like Hyper Voice does so much to it. If I try to wish up, it wouldn't work, especially not with Toxic. But I picked a Mirror Coat this week, so I thought, okay, let's play it safe, go for Mirror Coat. He goes out into Zapdos, I take more Toxic damage and think, okay, this isn't going to work, let me go out into his Donphan. He goes for HP Ice, definitely a good play, because if he went for like Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, I had a Thundurus and a Donphan in the back. Also, I could have Mirror Coated with Alomomola. So, but I'm Spadef, so I take this on quite well. I take this as an opportunity to set up my rocks, and I don't think he will stay in. And also, if he stayed in, that's fine with me. So he goes to Powdon, I Toxic it, he gets up his rocks, I just go for a Rapid Spin here. Looking what he wants to do, he just fights off an Earthquake. I think, okay, I'm still at like quite a nice amount of health, so let me go out into Thundurus, because Thundurus scares his team quite well, and he's probably not going to go for Stone Edge right here. So here I'm thinking quite a long time, should I go for the Nasty Blow, predicting like Spadef Zapdos, but still, I thought, yeah, Grass Knot is just my best play. Yeah, he also knew, okay, I don't really have a switch into this, so just let me stay in. Yeah, he Powdon goes clean down, so that's really nice. He brings out the Mienshao. I don't know what Mienshao is, but I think, okay, Stone Edge is the obvious play. But still, on the off chance, he kind of predicts my Clefable. He goes for Poison Jab. He is able, from the range it's at, to two-shot it. I don't want that to happen, so I make like a pivot switch into Alomomola, take the Stone Edge. Here, I'm thinking, okay, I could try to switch out, but I'm looking, Alomomola is quite low, it's Toxic. Is it going to do that much for me? I don't know. And I thought, if he doesn't go for High Jump Kick with like Clefable, Cinderella in the back, he might not. I can take any one hit, go for the knockoff, get rid of his left Life Orb, because he revealed Life Orb, which means Clefable takes a lot less damage from it, from the Poison Jab, which is really nice. And also, yeah, knockoff is also like a good play if he decided to switch out. As he indeed goes for Stone Edge, he unfortunately misses, and I go out for the knockoff. But yeah, this would have meant, you will see next turn, now he thinks, okay, he's just going to stay in, let me go for a High Jump Kick, as I get off a bit more Aqua Jet damage. In the end, it didn't really matter. I think he would have taken Life Orb from that Stone Edge, and then not taken Aqua Jet damage, so it might have mattered like 8%, but you will see later on, he's a regen variant, and also, so it didn't really matter, that miss. So I go out into my Scarf Chandelure, pretty much think, okay, I might get a kill here depending on what his mons are, but he reveals to have like a fully Spadef Blastoise, which was a really nice bring on his part, but I get the Spadef drop, and this is kinda huge, because this means I can do more damage. I still can't kill him, and I don't want to take a serve at this point, and so I just go out into my Clefable. Thinking, okay, this is like a pivot switch. He gets fully paralyzed. I saw his side, which I definitely recommend to watch his perspective. That he went for the serve here, which would have meant I would have taken, I think, around 30-ish%, a bit less from that. And with Lefty's recovery, I would probably just went for the Moonblast. Like if he went out into Gardevoir, it's nice to get some damage on it. And the same goes for Klefki, because Klefki is like standing in the way of Weavile, but other than that, Weavile might look quite nicely at this point with this Blastoise being Spadef and lowered. Here I decided, okay, let me just throw off a Moonblast. because I want to get this low, I do, instead of around 20%, I do 30%, and also I don't want to calm mind him going out into Gardevoir and have like taunt, encore, that sort of shenanigans, which I had experienced in my mock. So I go for the Moonblast here. I do more than I would have done. He goes just for the surf. He thought, yeah, let me just get up some damage. He might try to switch. He didn't want. He revealed to me after that he had Mirror Coat this last move, but yeah, he was kind of afraid to click it, because if I switched and he went for Mirror Coat, it would have been such a waste of a turn. So here I'm thinking, okay, I can just freely Moonblast away, because it does damage to everything, and I don't want to get encored into like something. Here I crit his Klefki, get a special attack drop. I thought if he had like Play Rough, it doesn't really matter. But also, and yeah, the crit is a bit unfortunate because it's a bit lower than it usually would have been, but you will see later on if this mattered or not. That much. Here I'm thinking, okay, I don't have many opportunities to go for Donphan and get my spin off, because if I get this rocks away, that's really opens the door for my main 3 offensive mons, as you can see. But he makes a nice double, kind of expecting Donphan, goes out into his Gardevoir, and I'm at 62%. I still don't know if he was fully special attack investment, but if he was fully special attack investment, I think the roll was like 58 to 67 or something. So I had like 40-ish% to live if it was max special attack, if he wasn't a bit more. And if I would have lived, I would have definitely went for a clutch rapid spin, which would have really helped me. But as you can see, Hyper Voice just straight Okos me. A bit unfortunate, I have to live with the rocks now. Here I'm thinking, okay, I can go into a number of things, but I thought, yeah, Weavile was my best play, because I don't want Chandelure. I thought Chandelure is like my cleaner for the late game. So I don't want to go into that now, because he can still like sack one mon, then go out into Blastoise or something like that. And I thought Weavile can pretty much take everything on. And yeah, Klefki, I have some switches for Klefki. Chandelure can come in on it, Thundurus can come in it, even Clefable, but Clefable loses a bit of momentum. So yeah, I debated quite a long time, and in the end I decided just to go for an Icicle Crash. Mainly because this hit like most of his team, and I could kill like Blastoise with a knockoff after. And yeah, he might have fair pursuit and just wanted to stay in, so I didn't want to click like a move that wouldn't KO this Gardevoir. But he just makes the safe play into the Klefki as I Icicle Crash it, and yeah, it can still definitely live a hit, and I don't want to die to a Play Rough. I think this Weavile is quite important still. So I think, okay, let me just go hard into Thundurus. Thundurus scares everything out. I don't think he will make a hard into his Mienshao. He just goes for the Play Rough, and now I can just kill him. That's exactly what I do, because he doesn't have a switch in for this. Even if I hadn't crit him before, I think because it was a fully defensive Klefki, he was still in range of a Thunderbolt. So that didn't really matter. But after the match, we talked about it, but if he went for like a spike, or when I went into Thundurus and then spiked again, so 2 layers of spikes, this might have definitely helped him late game with like the Weavile and the Chandelure, because he didn't need that much damage on Thundurus, because Stone Age from Mienshao always killed. But it would have forced a bit more mind games, because if he went Stone Age, I went to Clefable, I kinda had a free switch because we could live a Play Rough after, a Poison Jab after. But now his plays definitely Poison Jab. Poison Jab kills Thundurus from this range, 2 shots Clefable from the range it's at. So I just sack my Thundurus here, and then I go out into my Chandelure again. I know after this I have one more switch in. He just sacks his Blastoise. As you see, I KO him here. So if I hadn't gotten the damage off earlier on with that Moonblast after the special defense drop, he might have lived, but I think definitely the second one would have killed him. So I don't think it mattered that much, but yeah, you will have to watch his side to know for sure what happens. Here he goes Zapdos. I'm thinking, okay, Zapdos might still be able to take a Shadow Ball, and I think Mienshao and my Gardevoir also both one-shotted, and if he switches in one more time to Rocks, this Zapdos also has a chance to be killed by a Shadow Ball. So I'm definitely thinking, okay, I have to preserve this, go out to Clefable, and Clefable can kind of take on Zapdos from here. Can even take on Mienshao, might take on Gardevoir, but I have to rely on Thunder Wave plus 10 healing on fully power. But I go Clefable as he revealed Tailwind, and this was like, I was like, oh, Tailwind, that's a really nice bring on his part, because with the Tailwind up, Mienshao and Gardevoir both outspeed Chandelure and Weavile, so I definitely have to get rid of this Tailwind and then get in like Chandelure or Weavile to clean up. Like Weavile can clean up with like 3 Ice Crashes if it connects all 3. It would have, it has 3 life orb hits in it. I calculated that from the Stealth Rock and Spike damage. Chandelure can come in one more time, lock itself in one move, and then I still have this Clefable. As you see, Clefable is at 71%. I thought this is a bit of an error on my part, but from the damage earlier on, from the HPIs, I thought this Zapdos wasn't that offensive. But I should have calculated a bit better, because from that damage, it definitely was like max, almost, it has an evil special attack investment. It could even be a max special attack. Here it has revealed that it has leftovers, so I know that. But also, now it was like, okay, he has Tailwind. To me it looked like, okay, he's probably like, it's something like max HP, max special attack, but then what is his nature? Is his nature then modest? That explains why he did so much damage, but I calculated after the match, the HP Ice was definitely not modest max special attack damage. And I talked to him afterwards, and you will see the last few turns momentarily, but he told me he was like an offensive Zapdos, and he had a timid nature, meaning that this Thunderbolt, that like, the roll was like 39% to 47, so 47 was like the highest roll possible. So here I call mine up, I get my leftovers recovery. Again, this is a roll. The roll now is 27 to 32, I believe. I'm at 30%. So again, a roll. I think this one is a bit more even, maybe a bit in my favor, but the first one was definitely a max roll for him. But also now you see, if I hadn't been critted first turn, I would have had a bit more health. And I think that a bit more health would have meant I could have recovered on this. But now unfortunately I die, Clefable dies. So that's unfortunate, because if Clefable would have been able to softball up on the Zapdos, it might have 1v1 the rest of his team, because with one Calm Mind up, I can take a hit from my Gardevoir, I can Thunder Wave it, then I can try to recover up. If he lets me recover to full, let me get up some Calm Minds, if he didn't back Ankov, that is, but I think he didn't. He didn't told me if he backed, but it looked to me that he didn't. And then that Clefable could have maybe won the game. But yeah, Pokemon, it's a game of luck, it's a game of chances. He got the rolls in his favor, and we have to see how we can clean this game. So I know there is one turn of Tailwind left, and I know Weavile can pretty much kill the rest of his team with 3 Ice Cold Crashes if they connect. So I go into Chandelure. Here I'm thinking, he has one turn of Tailwind left, and I'm still here I've still thought, okay, this could be a max HP variant of Zapdos, because with Tailwind it still outspeeds my team. So in my mind, I looked at the calc and I saw if he roosts here, I go for Shadow Ball. It does a bit less than half of his HP, because he has max HP and leftovers. So I had like maybe 2-3% chance to kill if he was max HP with 2 Shadow Balls. So he can get up another Tailwind, and he is a guaranteed win. So here I thought, okay, I have to connect 2 Fire Blasts, because he might go for this. He also might just finish me off, and then it's 3 Ice Cold Crashes. If I connect all 3, I win. Or he has Fake Out on Mienshao, which also one thing I'm really afraid of at this point, because he only revealed 3 moves. So here I go for that Fire Blast. He indeed goes for that Roost, and then Fire Blast connects, luckily, but it crits. After the match, so we talked, and he turned out to be an offensive variant. So if I had gone Shadow Ball, I also would have definitely two-shotted him, because I was modest scarfed, but I couldn't know that at this point. But what this meant, this crit, it was like if next, so I connected 1 Fire Blast, I would have needed to connect another one. So that was like the main thing here. If I didn't crit, I had to connect 2 Fire Blasts. Now I only had to connect 1. So yeah, that's, yeah, it still hacks, but Fire Blast, it has more, it has like 80 accuracy, so it was in my favor to connect both. But yeah, we definitely don't know. So here he just goes out into his Gardevoir. I can switch out. He can definitely take a Fire Blast. If I miss, I have to connect 2 Ice Crashes. If I hit, which I do, I can kill this Gardevoir with a safe knockoff and then go for the Ice Crash, because knockoff, yeah, like knockoff also two-shotted his Mienshao. So if he went Mienshao, I could have knockoff, and also my Gardevoir died to rock, so I didn't have to kill that with another life a bit. So knockoff was definitely the play here. So I killed my Gardevoir with knockoff, and now, yeah, crit, obviously useless crit. So now it comes down, does he have the fake out or not? And he doesn't, and I connect the Ice Crash and I win this game 1-0. And that definitely was yeah, one of the most thrilling league games I have played. It was a really short match. It was only 32 turns, but yeah, the match lasted, I think, about a bit under 1 hour. That was just because then there was this one turn I had to think really like, okay, what's my best play, how can I still win this game? And then another turn I clicked my move quite fast, and then he was like, okay, what is my best play, how can I clean out this game in my favor? So this was definitely one really hyped game. And yeah, GG to Aster, and I hope we see each other in playoffs, maybe as opponents, or maybe I just hope we both make playoffs, because yeah, this was just an amazing battle, and we're now 5-2, guys. So that's really big. If you don't want spoilers about the rest of the matches, click this video away or just pause it for a moment. But in 3, 2, 1, okay. So spoilers. The rest of the matches. Joris is still ahead of us. He still has only 1 loss, but the guys behind us, which were also 4-2, packed some losses this week. So we're like the only 5-2 team at this point, but there are quite a lot of 4-3 and 3-4 teams. So behind us, it's really stacked, the competition, but we have a bit of an advantage here. So if this next few weeks we can try to win some games, we can clinch our playoff spot. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And also the next few weeks are also important, because we play all the people that are just behind us. Like we play El Scissor of the Dolphins. We play also Trev the King. With both guys who are, I believe, are both 4-3, which are both really playoff contenders. And then we have 2 other matches I don't really remember, but all great opponents. And yeah, definitely I'm looking forward to the next few weeks. And I must say, guys, goodbye, and I will see you in week 8.